All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we have this edition of the Monday Market Report, this time for the week ending August 21st, 2022. All right, in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the biggest and most relevant post 1900 modern era of coins to have sold here in the last 7 days. These are, of course, all graded coins for your consideration. But also, this week is kind of special because the A&A had one of their biggest coin shows all year long, and that's going to be the Chicago World's Fair of Money, all right, which pretty much took the whole week. But if you guys were in attendance, would love to hear your thoughts, about the event. If you guys did go, I heard it was pretty good. Pretty good. It was definitely one of those things that you couldn't possibly check the whole thing out within a day. It's like doing Disneyland and California Adventure in one day. It's just next to impossible to do. So pretty active week all around. Kind of like that time of the year where people are starting to get back into numismatics in some way, fashion, form, whatever. All of your investors, the registry set people, the collectors of all levels. Yeah, vacationing is coming to a close here, and they're resuming back to this wonderful hobby that we love taking a part of. So we're going to take a look at all of the sales from greatcollections.com. They are a fantastic auction house that does weekly auctions of some high quality coinage. They have been so far one of the most reliable auction houses to pull archive data from. A lot of the sales had ended this evening. This is, of course, Sunday night. I usually either like to upload this video on a Sunday night or Monday morning. But you guys will get what you need. And that there are some pretty big numbers this week. And I would say about 65-70% of the coinage that we're going to talk about are all what I consider to be some relatively ultra-modern inclusions. Anything like post-1950 is what I would dump into this particular era. But yeah, very impressive. And this is, again, kind of like that indicator that things are starting to go back to normal. And just based off of the overall sentiment of the collectibles market in general, it seems to be that a lot of people are beginning to see upticks from anything out there, like from sports cards, comic books, coins. We're seeing some renewed interest as we're heading into the fall months here real soon. So without further ado, how about we go ahead and jump right in and check out some of these listings from Great Collections. Of course, we're going to start off with one of the biggest chase coins that undeniably has eluded a lot of folks. This is what we call a lottery coin. And probably 98% of the people out there that do find something like this, they're going to end up grading it and then flipping it because the money is just so good right now. Especially for coins that look like this. This looks like something that just came right out of change. It's passed through many hands. It's not gorgeous by any means, but it is the variety, top 5 variety that everyone looks for in pocket change. This is indeed the 1992 Lincoln Memorial Cent with the famed close AM reverse. So the A and M in America are touching. Now, you can find this in both the Denver and the Philadelphia minted coins. However, the Denver minted coins are a little bit more common than this one. And check out the stats on the graded label there. NGC assigned this one an AU58 brown, which looks every bit of that. I mean, it's not mint state at all. It's circulated quite a bit. So even for a coin in this condition, it still ended up selling for $5,112.49, whereas a comparable Denver minted coin would probably be somewhere in that $800 to $1,000 range. So that in itself tells us the rarity of the Philadelphia minted close AM compared to the Denver. But again, always something to be on the lookout for, and the values are extremely high even to this day. All right, so there's no shortage of big hits. We got another one of these 1990 No S Lincoln Memorial Proof cents. This, of course, can only be found in a proof set. There's supposed to be an S mint mark right under the date for all proof coins minted during this time. The mint mark was left off of the working dies for whatever reason. Don't know. It was made by in error, I would suppose. But yeah, it's turned out to be again another rare chase for people that actually take the time to cherry pick these coins. So this one right here is a PCGS Proof 68 Red. It's also deep cameo, and it shows the no S on the label. This one sold for $3,276.13. All right, you guys ready for some big time money off of this coin here? I mean, who would have thought that we've finally seen a 5-figure price tag on the 1984 doubled ear Lincoln Memorial cent? This thing, widely collected, right? Either raw, graded, any condition, you name it. But this coin, because I've documented both the 84 DDO with the doubled ear and the 1983 DDR, these coins have gone up a ton just in the last 12 months, all right? Not even the full period of the pandemic where all collectibles were going up. This is a relatively recent 1 year, just amazing rocket ship of a ride for its price levels. And the 1984 used to be available in a graded slab, like a mid-state 63, 64 for well under $100. Now you can't even get any of those for let alone $300, $400, $500. These things have really shot up. But now we've learned and realized a true taste of what the premier grade of this coin is. And it's right here. Mid-State 68 plus full red. It says double die obverse, and as an extra added bonus, and a huge bonus at that, it's also CAC green beaned as well. So with all those things considering, this coin ended up selling this evening to the tune of $11,812.50. Yeah, it's going to be quite some time before we see another example in this specific grade come out to the marketplace. I mean, if a 69 comes out, we could only imagine how much something like that would go for on the marketplace. But now this coin has set that market bar pretty nice and high. Like Empire State Building high. $11,812 is a pretty remarkable price tag. And if you thought the 84 was impressive, well, how about this one? Not the first or last time that we're going to see a Mid-State 67 plus full red 72 DDO pop up on the auction circuit. But this one came up the same time that the 84 did. Not sure if this is the high mark for this coin. It's another very expensive coin. But check out the doubling. This is, of course, one of the top doubled dies in the entire series, just based off of how dramatic the doubling is. I mean, there's really not too many coins you can't compare it to. So PCGS assigned that really nice grade on there. It's also CAC green bean, and it's also referred to as the FS 101 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. How about a price tag of $17,437.50? I mean, that's some life-changing money right there on an ultra modern dated coin here. So, yeah. Again, look out for these. These are also shooting up in value. The demand has never been higher, and so some of the most highest graded examples are starting to fall off the marketplace quite rapidly. So we're seeing less of the mid-state 66s and up these days. And then now we have this one. I think strategically, Great Collections sold this during the right time of the year, during the World's Fair of Money event. And that's why it realized this price tag today. All right, in 1965, this is a special mint set Lincoln Memorial. As we know, in 65, 66, and 67, the U.S. Mint did not produce a traditional proof set like we all know. They instead did an SMS strike, which is a pseudo hybrid of a proof coin and a business strike. It's really weird. But one thing's for sure, there's really not too many examples you can find with a either cameo or deep cameo. They are actually really, really difficult to obtain. This one right here is an NGC Mid-State 67 red cameo. It shows SMS right on the holder. This one sold for $2,193.75. They're all quite valuable when they have that cameo or deep cameo designation. And we have two other Lincoln cents left to round out the 1 cent denoms. We have a really difficult 1953 registry set geared Lincoln right here. This one is a PCGS Mid-State 67 red. Registry set coins, are picked up by folks that want just the best. And then they end up registering it through PCGS and NGC. It's a points-based system. It's more for bragging rights than anything else. But, when you're trying to assemble the finest grades of these respective coins, they will pay a boatload amount of money. All right. Their wallet is virtually endless of cash when they're going out looking for these things. This one right here is actually part of the Ammo Man PCGS registry. Looks like he's dissolved a number of pieces from this registry. And this one right here, really nice one, sold for $3,712.50. And here's another Ammo Man registry piece. 1947 Lincoln this time. This one's a Mid-State 67 red. I guess our friend Ammo Man just decided, yeah, I'm done with this. So sometimes, that'll happen. A premier registry set, ends up going for sale on the marketplace because of, a myriad of reasons. Oh, I'm getting too old. I don't want to keep these. I'm just going to sell them. Or maybe it's time to work on a new project. It could be anything. But yeah, another stunner. This is going to end up in another registry set somewhere down the line, and it did sell for $2,593.12. All right, we do have a fresh set of nickels. How about this one right here? First of all, gravitate your eye to the label. There's no full steps on this one. This is just a straight Mid-State 66 1981D Jefferson nickel. My tongue fell out of my face and onto the floor because, how can a coin from the 80s without full steps achieve this kind of money? But it must be a rarity. It's got to be, right? For it to obtain $1,819.12, a few $100 shy of $2,000. So could it be another style of registry set where these are being collected, not necessarily with full steps, but without it? Could be. That'd be pretty cool. People have been pulling their hair out for the longest time trying to find full steps of even some of the most difficult of grades. So why not, launch a separate registry set on non-full steps coins? And then now we're beginning to see some of the results of that. And $1,800 for this coin is probably not the last time we'll see that kind of dollar figure on this. And here's a 73D, although this one does have full steps assigned to it. And again, it's not exactly a tougher date, but when it's 67 and higher, that's where all sorts of rich value come into play here. This one, again, probably going into a registry set, and this one ended up selling for $3,600 here Sunday night. And here's a 63D. See the trend, my friend? No full steps assigned on this one either. This is just a shagadelic type coin right here. That's going to end up probably in a non-full steps registry set. So I would say monitor this for those of you that actually have a number of these coins that are really clean but don't have full steps on there, that might be the next best kind of opportunity for folks trying to get their proverbial foot in the door of doing some of these coins and trying to make a lot of money from doing it. Mid-State 66, signed by PCGS on this one, and it sold for $1,581.62. All right, the Buffaloes are quite nice. How about this one here? A nice evenly kind of like light brown tone throughout the whole coin. 1937D. This is, of course, the three-legged buffalo. I love talking about these. They're just out there. There's quite a few of them. They're not particularly rare, but they are stunners. And, what it really boils down to is that it's just an abraded die. All right, over polishing. And that's what eliminated that foreleg on Black Diamond there on the reverse. So this one right here is assigned as a Mid-State 63 through PCGS. It's also CAC green beaned as well. Beautiful coin. And it sold for $4,968 this evening, which is, a price tag that I think is very fair considering the eye appeal. I think the toning and its evenness throughout the coin, and it's not dark and terminal, it is really an attractive point to this coin. And then, of course, we have a 1913, another perennial, very available date for folks that want a mid-state example. Now, oftentimes you could go out there in the marketplace and find a really nice average mid-state 64 or 65 for under $50. I mean, that's how affordable it is. But again, this is not your typical show. We got to be talking about the registry set and what it means for some of the most widely collected series of U.S. coinage. Buffalo Nickels, right up there. This one is a mid-state 68. A grade that you probably won't encounter just casually walking around in a coin shop looking for it. You gotta have a very discerning eye. You gotta know that it's a very clean, well-struck example that shows just probably lights out luster. This one right here sold for $6,080.62. Just a really, really nice peach with no offending toning. It's just really blast white, and I love it. Now, from top to bottom, we actually had a pretty nice selection of dimes this week, which you can't really say. Okay, Roosevelt dimes have always been the butt of the joke, all right, in the hobby. And I don't know if people are changing their tune on this series, but I have realized that there are more quality Roosevelt dimes that have entered the marketplace just in the last, I would say, month or so. We're seeing easily 2, 3, 4 different listings that have sold in excess of $1,000. And they're all very nice quality registry set, well-struck examples. So 76, comes up on the radar, and, it had a really nice outing here on Great Collections. This one is a Mid-State 66 full bands, which, it's not the top echelon of grades. It's not a 67. It's not a 68. This is a coin from, the last 45 years. So that says a lot. This one right here sold for $1,968.75. Again, wowing the crowd as this one, finalizes tonight. And, I mean, there are a lot more better coins to invest nearly $2,000 into. So, again, far be it for anyone to get in between a registry set, owner and their coins, because they will pay whatever amount of money they want to, because they can. And I'm just a little bit jealous. Now this one right here is here, for the color. All right, 1949D is a decent date. It's not something that you're going to come across in mid-state condition too often. All right, and these are generally raw, like $20, $25, $30 coins. So there's a little bit of key date scarcity type of play here, while not really being a key date. But yeah, take a look at all of the beautiful toned color on this coin and understand that that's the big reason why that this coin sold for what it did. All right, so it's a mid-state 68 full bands, first of all. That's very important. But this one right here sold for $1,737. Believe it or not, which is less than the 1976. I mean, how does that work? I mean, if you were going to put both coins side by side, would you pick the piddly owned 66 mid-state 66 1976, or would you choose this one for $100 less? Yeah, man. Not saying that the market is irrational at all, but there are different sectors and indices within the hobby that all have their own kind of pricing data. That's how wacky it is, and that's why it's a good time to be alive in this hobby. Here's a 1944S, beautiful coin, very well struck, which is not something you'd see on San Francisco minted anything during the 40s. This one right here is a mid-state 68 full bands through NGC, just a beautiful blast white coin. This one sold for $2,137.50. And we do also have a 38D in here, just again, another pleasing example. NGC also assigned this one as a 68 full bands. It does have some original skin to it, some of that toning on there. Not quite the 44 level, of course. The 44 looked like it was minted yesterday. This one looks new and is preserved, in a little envelope, some sort to give it a little bit of this light toning. This one sold for $2,812.50. And the final dime for this week has to be a Barber. We don't talk about Barbers that often. It's not like, a perennial favorite amongst my viewers, but I like to throw one in every so often just so you can see just a true raw beauty of these type of coins. Now, the Barber series, top to bottom, from dimes and half dimes or whatever, dimes, all the way up to half dollars, these were generally referred to as workhorse coins. Nobody really saved them in mid-state conditions. So, here we are over 100 years later. Some of these coins are just now coming out, onto the auction scene for the first time. Here's a mid-state 66 plus 1905S. It's kind of like a little bit tougher date. But boy, you can't really argue with the original toning on the coin that's developed over many decades. This is not something that you could replicate overnight. This one sold for $2,251.12. A real beauty. And then we're going to end it off on 3/4. How about another 1968D Washington quarter? This one, of course, is the doubled die reverse FS801. This is a beauty. I mean, without even looking at a close-up, take a look at the doubling on $0.25. This is one of the biggest double dies that you'll ever encounter, and a very, very rich one at that if you're able to get a nice, healthy, graded score. This one is a PCGS Mid-State 66 example, and it did sell for $2,759.62. And we have some pretty gnarly big bombers to close out the MMR show this week. How about 1945D? Like, what in the world is this thing doing here? The toning, actually pretty nice. It's different. It's got a different kind of wood grainy pattern to it. It's not offensive at all, in my estimation. But it's a mid-state 68. This is pure registry set gold right here at its finest. It's CAC certified, and check this out. It sold for $14,850. I mean, you don't see 1940s quarters unless it's like a rare DDO, like from 1943S or something, attain this kind of level of price tag. So yeah, welcome back, numismatics, to the fall season. And we're not even there yet. We're still a month away from the first official day of fall. But people are getting started early. Oh, and then finally, we have this one here. Straight out of a album, 1938 Philadelphia, Washington quarter. It's got that mint that album kind of hazy toning to it. Not my particular favorite, but it looks like it spent a few years in one album, and that's how it develops this kind of toning. Again, it's more blast white than it is anything else, but a mid-state 68 indicates that it's a really clean example. Again, strictly for a registry set. I wouldn't necessarily go out and invest the kind of money to own this thing. But it did sell for $7,294.49. Wow. Wow. Some really big coins this week. Some record breakers, some jaw breakers, and everything else. It's amazing. And it's not going to end. It's not going to end. We are going to see some really strong performing numbers as we head into the last few months of the year. Whew. Can't wait. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. If you're catching this on a Sunday evening, hope you guys have a relaxful evening. If you're catching this on a Monday morning, don't work so hard. Have a wonderful day. Have a great week. Yeah, really great show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for the you-know-what. Check me out on TikTok. I'm at Blue Ridge Silverhound as well. Let's go ahead and wrap it up for today. You guys take care. Love you guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.